Welcome. You are listening to AK-47 Radio, bringing you the best of the motherland with fewer tracksuits and even less disinformation. Tonight, we are not joined by our party janitor, Sam Alexander, which really sucks because we've been having to take out our own trash, mop our own floors. Like it's been a lot of extra work. However, I am joined tonight by our cosmonaut general, Mikhail.
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 It's like Mikhail, but without the Heil.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that on camera and not me. Mikhail Gonzalez. And as always, I am Comrade Commissar Will. How you doing this week, man?
It was a busy week.
Yeah, I heard it from the sigh.
I'm tired. I'm over it. We're done.
Yeah, except it's only Tuesday, so you're not done.
Fuck.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, well, bottoms up then.
Yep. It's been an interesting week for me as well. I've had some crazy stuff in the personal side of life, and yeah, there's been a lot going on. So I've been really looking forward to just decompressing and being an idiot on the internet.
Well, to be fair, you don't need the internet to do that.
Yeah, but it gives me an excuse. It's like Halloween. You get the excuse to dress up as a slutty nurse. You're not, it's Halloween. It's acceptable, but it's not acceptable on like January 18th.
I don't dress up as a slutty nurse anymore because
you're missing out, bro.
The last time I did, my balls were hanging out the bottom of the skirt and people got mad.
That's because you're old.
I don't dress up as a slutty nurse no more.
I mean, that's fair.
Speaking of which, I haven't taken my own trash out. Let the janitor do it. He'll just have to come back to 2 weeks worth of work next week.
That's fair. I understand that the janitor provides certain other services for the party that we won't get into.
Are the below the desk services?
I mean, no, because if they were, I'm not getting any of that.
Yeah, neither am I. That's why I'm confused and was asking, because there's no one below my desk.
Anyway, before we completely
double check
derail this, maybe that's where he's been, just waiting to put you against the wall.
If that's his plan, I'm going to fight, and I will probably murder a fool.
Well, what have you done to further the party's interest this week?
Well, so I didn't do any shooting, because actually, you know what? I take that back. I went to my ranges match last Wednesday and shot the Glock 17 that I bought a month ago, and it ran completely fine. Shocking.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
And then today, so last week at the surplus store, I did something that pissed a few people off, and I bought some Hummer lights. And the reason I bought Hummer lights is because my Prado, I had $500 KC daylighters on the bumper guard. It's not really much of a brush guard or anything like that. It's just a little whoopty that goes in front of the bumper and is like, look at me, I've got lights, wee. But I bought, back when I bought the thing, got a whole bunch of lights to put on the roof rack, the front, the back, everything. And I was like, you know what? These look cool, and they'll be all right on the front bumper. It'll be great. So I bought these $500 KC daylighters, and you'd think KC, they're a good off-roading light brand. And
it's okay, words are hard.
Lurds are ward.
Yes.
So this was 3 years ago that I put all this stuff on it. Over the past 3 years, I've watched those lights get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and I thought there might be something wrong with it. So I checked the 8-channel spread out doodad. I don't really know what they're called, but you can put the wires for 8 different sets of lights in it, and then you put the thingy inside the cab, and you got little buttons.
We'll call it a router. Piss
Yeah,
people
that'll
off.
a light router and fiber optic, perhaps. Anyway, so I checked that. Everything was good to go on that. I checked the output voltage. Everything was good. I checked the resistance. Everything was good. Also, don't try to resist the party. That is bad. And no, it just turns out that these $500 lights barely fucking work. The $40 set of lights on the roof works way better, way brighter than.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Way.
They are not great.
They're useless. So I took those off, and I went to put at the surplus store. I got this set of Hummer headlights, and I was like, "Ooh, these will be really, really cool." Well, it turns out, number one, it looks really good with the Hummer lights on it.
It kind of does. I'm not gonna lie.
It much better than the daylighters. The downside, they're 24-volt lights, so now I need transformers to up the wattage going to the lights from, or not the wattage, the voltage going from the light or to the lights from 12 volts to 24.
So you need Optimus Prime to fix your lights.
No, I don't need that kind of transformer.
Oh, so you need Caitlyn Jenner to fix your lights.
No, I don't need that kind of transformer either.
You're not making any sense, bro.
I don't need one that screams Autobots or, whatever the hell Bruce did. I'm not real familiar. I mean, I know he was a dude, and then
he was on cereal boxes, I think.
Did you ever see that thing that we can blame basically the New York Bill or the Buffalo Bills losing a football game to why we have the Kardashians?
No, but I don't know that that's a tangent we need to get off on like Ekranoplans in this particular podcast.
I'm looking it up right now because yes, we do.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, while you're looking up something extremely random, more random than what we've already been doing, I'll show you what I've done to advance the party's interest this week. You're going to love it.
Am I?
By that, I mean, I really hope it pisses you off.
Where did he ran away? He's not supposed to leave dead silence in a podcast, but he ran away and now he's gone. So I'll just talk randomly. And yeah, so hey, he came back. Hooray. What the security faggot fuck.
Commissar uniform came in today. Actually, it came in a few days ago, but I had to shave it and shape it and do all the things. For those who are listening and not watching, I finally got I ordered this like a month ago just for this as a prop. I got a beret with the Russian like star and hammer and sickle and wreath emblem just to wear for the podcast. I
both love it and hate it.
You know,
this would be a glorious time to bust out the flask I got in Tallinn, Estonia.
Why is it not already right there?
Because I hadn't thought of it until now, and whatever it could be full of, I don't really have. I mean, unless I put Corona in it.
I mean, you could do that. It would carbonate and expand, and it wouldn't be a fun time to drink it, but you could do that.
No, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
All right, so here it goes. So in 1970, the Buffalo Bills and O.J. Simpson basically are to blame for the Kardashians existing. They barely lost a game in 1970 by missing a bad pass for a touchdown. The loss allowed them to get the first pick in the draft, where they took O.J. Simpson. O.J. lived in Buffalo, where he met Nicole, and the article says, and then allegedly killed her, but no, he killed her in LA. So that's a weird grammatical fail. He then hired Robert Kardashian to be his lawyer. They won the case, making the Kardashians somewhat famous. Then Kim drops the sex tape and becomes famous. So basically, the 1970 Buffalo Bills are the reason we have to deal with the Kardashians today, because if they'd won that game, they would never have had the pick for OJ. He never would have met Nicole and never would have had the chance to kill her, preventing the entire Kardashian family from ever becoming a sliver of subject in modern culture.
So it's the bad version of how Paris Hilton became famous for being famous.
I mean, there's no good version of that.
No.
But yes, basically.
Yeah. Anywho, well, I was thinking for gear chat tonight, you might want to talk about your lights, but since you already talked about those, do you have anything else for gear chat before we get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's discussion?
I mean, we don't have any meat. We are the party took all the meat. Also, the party took all the potatoes
and the bread.
And so basically, we have stagnant pond water for dinner tonight.
Well, before we wade into the pond for dinner,
I hope it's warm.
No,
I hope there's not a dead beaver with an arrow through it at the bottom.
Niet, comrade.
Pond is fine. So, what do you got gear wise?
You're either you're roboting or I'm roboting.
It's probably me, but it's also probably you.
Hey, I think you're back.
Am I back?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. I don't know if you were roboting or if I was roboting, but one of us was for sure.
You sounded fine, so it was probably me. Does not compute. Okay. Oh, there I go again.
No, you're fine now.
Okay, so where did you find this hat? Did you like?
We don't ask these questions, comrade.
But I do ask questions because I was Air Force, and that hat is vaguely reminiscent of security forces, and it makes me think that you like pulled up to a gate at any one of the numerous bases that exist in the world, and you held a SecFo member at gunpoint for his hat and then drove away in your chronoplon. But then you like ripped off his dumb little Defender Fortis or whatever the hell they say on it badge off of it, and then put your Comrade Commissar.
No, none of these things happened.
Oh, well, I like the world that I live in.
I mean, that's fair. I ordered it on Das Internet.
Oh, that's way less cool.
Yeah, but
you should have just said my thing.
Also way less illegal.
Yeah, but what's legality when you don't get caught?
Well, if you admit to it on the internet.
Well, you still can't get caught. There's a statute of limitations. We haven't met it yet, but there is.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, God. Are you done talking about the Kardashians?
Yeah, I already closed out the tab. I just wanted to go into the
good. So if we're gonna do gear chat, I want to start with something you and I can both very much get into, and that is, for those watching and for those not watching, I'll explain it. These little fucking pieces of hell that get given to us by Glock. It's a Glock OEM extended slide release. And I ordered them years ago thinking, oh, I can't stand the flat-sided Glock slide release thing on a stock Glock. I want something bigger. And then I realized like every 3 rounds I was getting false slide lock on a still loaded magazine with those things. So I promptly replaced them with the stock ones. And yet there is a member of the party who thinks that they are amazing, and go with your counter argument.
I didn't say they're amazing. I just think they
You said you wanted them on every Glock you have. That's the same thing.
Well, it's better than I did not say those specific words. I just said, hey, you have that one. If you have 2, I have 2 Glocks that could use them, is all I said. Not,
no,
I
you
want
said
them
you
on
really
every,
wanted
which
them,
I can see how you would misinterpret
excited.
that as I want them on all my Glocks.
No. You only have 3 that I know of. So you want them on all of your Glocks. God, you're being more pedantic than Sam.
Where do you think I get it from?
from you.
He learned from the best.
Oh God.
But yes, I think it's genuinely all in your grip, and some people have a much higher grip.
Yeah.
And I have experienced this particular problem myself until I learned to adjust my grip. And nobody likes false slide lock, to be fair. But I've shot many, many thousands of rounds out of my Glock 22 with one of those on it and not had a problem. In fact, the reason I put that one on there is because way back when, oh man, it was literally 20 years ago now. But way back when I was being taught how to shoot a pistol for the first time, and my instructors were all like, when you shoot a Glock and you go to slide lock, or you lock the slide or whatever, just go to grab the back of the slide and rack the slide.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Don't bother with the slide catch because the slide catch will break. And I was like,
literally fired thousands and thousands of rounds through my Glocks, and I've never had one of them break.
So I fired thousands and thousands of rounds out of my Glock 22, and lo and behold, the slide. So let me back up a little bit. Anytime I did a combat reload on my Glock, I would grab the slide and just let it go. But then I started to realize that I have all these other guns I'm just using the slide release or the slide catch for. I may as well just use it for the Glock. And within 1,000 rounds, the slide catch broke. So
I used to do the slingshot method, and that was like my go-to. And then I just learned to use the slide release on normal pistols, and I've never had an issue.
Well, they say
also, these things are not thicker in any dimension except for the part where your thumb would touch them. It's the exact same piece. They just made it longer and put an extra ledge for your thumb. So in theory, these would also break.
Oh, so fun fact, you want to know where it broke? The spring. The spring is what broke. So anyway.
So you get all the false lock open and no actual lock open. Got it.
Right.
Well, actually, you would get the lock open because of the magazine. But anyway.
Yeah, mag would still pop it open. It's just it has no spring tension, so it like can wobble around, migrate up high. So yeah, that broke. I replaced it with one of those little extendo ones and had a few problems at first, but figured it out pretty quick. When I shoot a Glock, my support hand rides about a 1/4 inch below the slide release anyway, or slide catch, whatever.
Oh.
But I know like some people, especially dudes with bigger hands, like their hand is just swarming. Yeah, you are way too high. No wonder you get.
That is perfect, and I have not large hands. But anyway,
it's not super perfect, because if it was perfect, it'd be
it's extremely perfect because it's what I do.
Spoken like a true comrade, Commissar.
That's right. I guess with that, do you want to get into the actual swamp water of tonight's topic?
I'm into swamp water. Do we get to chill it first with ice cubes, or are we just basically hosed?
I mean, it's up to you. Mine's chilled.
Mine's extra chilled. See, it says so right there on the bottle.
Yeah, it's not a Coors though, so you can't look at the mountains and tell.
No, it tastes way better than a Coors.
Also facts.
All right, we're gonna talk cheap beer. Coors definitely tastes the best out of all of them. Like Miller, Budweiser, all of them are trash except for Coors.
Coors is also trash, and so so is Corona, but we'll leave that alone.
True, it's just Mexican trash.
So for tonight, we planned on discussing, since of the 3 party members, Mike and I are the ones that own SKSs. We won't get into the fact that the party janitor could have also owned an SKS, but still does not. But we wanted to discuss, since it's just the 2 of us, something we can talk about that doesn't just basically exclude the party janitor from the conversation. So why don't real quick? Why do you think the SKS is cool? Let's start with that.
I mean, look at it.
Yes, I mean,
Like,
duh. Look at.
seriously, like this is just, I mean, yours is way cooler because mine has this synthetic stock, but like it's
Oh,
fine.
we'll get into mods later.
Because number one, honestly, because it was kind of Russia's attempt at building something that was like M1 Garandish, but like missed the mark entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the M1 Garand 30-06.
Yes.
Number two, SKS 762 by 39. Like if SKS had been done in 762 by 54R, that would have been much more Nagandish or Garandish. Yeah, see, if you hold up a Garand and an SKS side by side, they look very similar. Now,
The
granted,
idea. So I'll admit I used AI for the first time for something actually serious-ish. And the long story short is World War II, Russians are seeing M1 Garand. They try to do Russian M1 Garand, but with full power 762 by 54R, and realize that one, rim cartridges are awful for semi-autos, and
Oh, yeah.
two, it just wasn't the way. So that's where the and I didn't know this, but again, according to my research, the SKS saw very limited but still some use towards the end of World War II, because it was originally it was designated the SKS 45, which means it was adopted in 45 and started getting issued in 1945.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. I've always just called it the SKS.
I had no idea. I've never actually bothered to look up the history of the rifle, but
I didn't either. Jim and I did.
yeah, you say research, but AI is not research.
False. These are treasonous words, comrade.
Tell me how to quote AI in AP format or MLA format.
Yeah, you copy paste the URL.
That, yeah. I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore, so I don't have to deal with that.
Also that. No, I mean, the SKS is cool. So like a lot of you guys listening and watching will probably remember back in the day when like you wanted AK, but SKS was like $80 at a gun show. Like you could go to a gun show with $200, buy a case of 762 by 39 and an SKS, and still have like pocket change.
Still have Corona money.
Yeah, exactly. And sadly, those days are now gone, but a lot of people bought them. And then a lot of companies, which we're going to get to, hopefully, started springing up to help people give it more of that AK aesthetic, which is why most SKSs are bubbled these days, because people wanted AK on SKS budget. And yeah, that's kind of where it became a culture thing, at least for me as a kid growing up. I mean, my dad had like 2 or 3. I think he's still got a Yugo, which is cool.
I see the watcher in the chat trying to pretend he's in the show. That's pretty cute.
Yeah, well,
he does have important information that SKS was meant to be mainline rifle and AK.
We're gonna okay. Look, watcher, you've got access to the show notes. You know that's in the show notes for us to get to.
Why don't you be a listener and not a watcher?
Killing me, Smalls. So yeah, I think you've told this story, and I've probably talked a little bit about my SKS story, but you got that from a buddy while you were still in the military, right? And that's how you got into it, and it came just like that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't touched this rifle or changed it in any way. The only mag I've ever had for it was this weird 37 rounder that is weird. I've killed beer bottles at 330 meters with this thing, or yards, or 330 ish.
It's the same thing. Those extra 3 inches, don't worry about those extra 3 inches.
I'm not worried about them 9 inches.
Mm-mm.
Those 3 inches add up.
No, it's fine.
But I really like this rifle in particular. Really got me deep into shooting. I mean, I liked my AK. I bought my AK first, and then I bought this from a different buddy. But taking them both out, blowing through a case of 500 rounds of brown bear in an afternoon.
Oh God, back in the good old days.
Oh, seriously, dude.
At one point,
go ahead.
At one point, this has been several years now. My dad had ordered 2 cases of Wolf, and they were soft points too. And I had my SKS, and I was about to take it with me to where I was living as an adult. And he was like, "Here, just take one of these cases. I don't care." I was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah, okay." So I still have a bunch of Wolf. I literally opened all the boxes and just like dumped them into an ammo can for storage reasons.
Which is what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Because that's how ammo, unless you make your own ammo, in which case you load a whole bunch of 9mm, put it into an ammo can that holds just about 1,000 rounds, and then take that 1,000 rounds inside, turn on some fun TV, and take your ammo checker and go through all 1,000 rounds, and every round that actually passes the ammo checker gets put in a box. So then you can pull them out by boxes of 50, and this ammo's been checked, it's good to go.
Yeah.
But AK rounds, no, straight to ammo can.
Especially the lacquered ones. I love the lacquered ones.
Oh yeah, brown bear and silver bear were like the best. And then Barnaul kind of took over, and Barnaul and brown bear were basically the same thing. But man, I miss those days of like 15 cents a round.
Yeah, that was great. I got into AK. So my very first ever, and this is part of the story that's been told in previous episodes, my first ever centerfire rifle was a 30-30 Marlin that my dad gave me for a hunting rifle. My second centerfire rifle was bought with my own money. It was graduation money from high school. And it was a already bubbed, so nobody get upset with me in the comments if you're watching.
Bubba,
already bubbed SKS, and yes, I know the bayonet is like all out of whack. We'll get there. But it had that shitty black chote Dragunov looking stock on it. And I love that thing. I would just go blast with it. Again, ammo was cheap back then. It was just fun to shoot. I got it at a gun show. It came with actually this quote unquote 30 round magazine that actually holds more.
Yeah, see, that's an actual 30 round magazine, and mine
this one holds like 33.
Maybe mine's a 35.
I think yours was supposed to be a 40, and they just put too much spring in it.
That's entirely possible, because it's way bigger than yours.
I mean,
don't get magazine envy or anything. Just
I already have it.
Let's just compare side by side.
Yeah, so it was bubbed, but I hated that stock. And so as an adult, back when Tapco was a thing, I bought the Tapco because it was already bubbed, right? Like I never had the original stock for it. I had the original bayonet for it initially. But like it didn't come with a cleaning rod or a cleaning kit. Like I was never going to get it back to full original state. So in that case, and that's something I wanted to talk about later, is like, should you bubba an SKS or not? No, I don't think you should bubble. Like if you get an original SKS with the wood stock and all of that,
considering they cost like $650, $700 now, you should absolutely not go putting a $40 Tapco on it.
No, like this, it's probably more than 40 now. It's more than 40 when I paid for that one brand new. But anyway, this original it's been refinished clearly for those who are watching. But it's numbers matching. It came with the cleaning rod. It came with the bayonet. It came with the cleaning kit in the stock. So like that's back there. And I paid a buddy $150 for it. and I do not plan on touching it because it's all original. But if you get one that's bubbaed, unless you really just want to go out and spend all your time and money trying to find original parts, it's okay to have fun with it, I think, at that point, because you didn't do the original bubbaing. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I have a Mauser 98 that not a single number matches, and most likely not a single number matches because of the nice Nazi eagle stamped into the barrel, which I
Mhm.
thought was pretty cool. I found it at Cabela's, and they wanted $300 for it, and I was like, "Well, you can have my $300. This is cool." And
Yeah.
that rifle came home with me. Um, but it was sporterized AF. The stock got cut off like right where you would expect a stock to get cut off,
Mhm.
instead of going all the way to the barrel like the original 98s did.
Rifle go from killing enemy to killing enemy deer.
Not with this MOA, it's not. Maybe it's the ammo, but it was not very accurate.
Mm.
But I got the only 8mm at the time that like Bass Pro or whoever I got it from had, which was that I want to say Priv Partisan, but I could
Oh, yeah. You know what? I've had good luck with their ammo over the years.
not saying it's bad ammo. I'm just saying it did not.
And every
It was
gun is
not
an
accurate in that.
individual. It
Right.
ain't, yeah. And the
Some guns
barrel
like
also
different
might just be,
powder. Some 30-06s like 180 grain. Some 30-06s like 150 grain. Like you held up the Garand earlier. Garands were designed for 150 grain, so you put 180s through them, and they're not going to be as accurate.
and a specific pressure curve. So just because it
Right.
says 150 on the box doesn't mean it's safe to shoot in a Garand.
Right. So yeah, I'm not knocking the Mauser too bad, but it came with a really shitty Weaver scope on it. I mean, by comparison to today's scopes, maybe that thing was like the pinnacle of Weaver back in 1963 when this thing got bubbled. But I take issue with sporterizing war rifles because they're collector's items, and you bubbling the fuck out of a collector's item makes it not a collector's item. Like, yes, I bought Bubba Mauser because it had the eagle stamped on it. Would I have given it a second glance otherwise? Absolutely not.
No,
But I would have given it a better glance if it was an original K98. I also would have paid probably 3 times as much.
absolutely. And I guess that's my thing is like, if you want an SKS because you want an SKS and you want to play around with it, I mean, if you're interested in the history, if you want to mess with a short stroke versus a long stroke Russian design, even though both of mine are Chinese manufacture, um, there's nothing wrong with buying a Bubba gun, even if you never end up restoring it, just to be able to appreciate those little facets of it. And if you buy it and it's already bubbed, then you can either try to restore it, which is a totally noble goal, and I would never discourage anybody from doing it, or you can bubba it to the point where it does what you want it to do. But if it's not bubbed when you get it, maybe don't bubba it when you get it.
Yeah, especially not now. If you go Bubba an SKS after you paid $700 for it, you're a moron.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this one in the Tapco furniture back here. For those of you who don't have SKSs and don't have any experience with this, the way the bolt is milled on the bottom, it actually has grooves that go inside the feed lips for either the internal box magazine or if you have an external box mag like me and Mike do. So like it will hold the magazine in place with the bolt forward. So you cannot take the magazine out or put a new magazine in if the bolt is forward. You have to lock the bolt to the rear, which requires you fingering the mag well to move the bolt catch up. There is a modification you could do that I did to the one in the Tapco stock that was already bubbed. So now I don't have that problem with that one. I'm not doing that to the one that's all original.
Nor should you.
No, absolutely not. Because I'm
It
not a
just
heathen.
it blows my mind how many millions of these were made and how few of them we actually have access to.
Yeah, thanks, import bans.
Let's just call it like it is. Thanks, Democrats. And Reagan.
Yes. Canada can still import like Chinese SKSs and stuff. And if they stay in Canada for 25 years, if they stay in a neutral country, according to my understanding of the law, I am not a lawyer. If it's been in a neutral country for 25 years, it's legal to be imported into the US.
So it's like the car thing with Japan.
Yeah, we've talked about this. I vaguely remember because it was car stuff and I half tuned out.
That's because you're a peckerhead and don't appreciate my tisms.
No, I just don't care about cars.
Right, you don't appreciate my tisms. Dick.
I mean, okay.
All right. So I see in the show notes you've got any cool stories like taking an animal with one. Actually, no, I don't have any cool stories. However, my ability to kill beer bottles at such a long range with open sights really made me want to find a 5-round mag and take it deer hunting and take a deer with it.
Mm.
I think that's, to be honest, that's probably a pipe dream. Now, if I lived in a place like anywhere other than Colorado, where the population of deer was 16 deer per square mile as opposed to the 4 that we have, that might be an option, like Alabama or Oklahoma or there's any number of southern states that have whitetail out their ass.
Yep.
And you can kill them at under 100 yards. That would be an ideal candidate for an open sights SKS. Like, I'd love to shoot a deer with a 7.62 by 3.9 just once.
I would too. So I grew up in Alabama, and that's all public knowledge.
Greenbow, Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Roti.
And
Say with less teeth.
I like my teeth. They help me to chew food. They help me to chew deer that I kill when I kill deer, which is very rare these days.
Deer.
But yeah, my dad, he's the kind of guy, I guess we're all this kind of guy that's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this one day. And then there are just things you never really get around to. He had the same thing. He always wanted to take one of the SKSs and go deer hunting and kill a deer with it. Never did end up doing it. And I was still mastering like the 30-30 at the time. And I mean, I was in my young teens. I didn't have a lot of choice. He was like, here, rifle, here, stand, go hunt. So I didn't get the opportunity to take a deer with an SKS because I never got to take the SKS out in the first place. But it was always just such a fun gun. And because it's legal, it's a 30 caliber round. I always wanted to see what it would do, especially compared to like my 30-30, my dad's 30-06 to a deer.
Would not be nearly as powerful, of course.
No, but like, again, back then I didn't know as much, right? So this is part of that learning piece about guns. Like, oh, 5.56 will blow all of your lungs and guts clear out the body. Like it'll take your soul with it, which I guess technically is true. 9mm will blow your lungs out. Like, okay, you hear these things, but you don't know until you actually see empirical evidence. And I just kind of wanted to learn.
Well, you can pretty much count on it. If somebody with a D after their name is telling you how guns work, you can count on that being bullshit. Now, that aside, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because we all started somewhere. We all started from basically zero in gun knowledge. And some of us are still at zero, but think we're 100. And others, I mean, it's...
Hey, Klecker's here.
Hi, Klecker. It's Dunning-Kruger at its finest, to be honest. Like, I think you and I are just starting our second trek upward.
Yeah.
But anyway, like...
No, I agree with you. I've said that multiple times in YouTube videos on my personal channel. Like, we all start from zero. And that's why it pisses me off in the gun community, where we're such good gatekeepers. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't know the difference between a FMJ and a hollow point. You don't know the difference between a blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, because nobody's taking the time to teach them. So rather than giving them shit for not knowing something they have no reason to know, it's not like breathing and pooping. You don't just get born with the ability to do those things.
And to
Somebody
be
has to
fair, we don't
teach.
even know how to do the second one until like 3 or 4 years
Well,
into
you
our
know how
life.
to poop, you just don't know how to poop in a toilet.
Right. You know how it happens. You don't know how to control it.
Yeah. So, like, instead of giving people shit for something, why not just pass it on and be like, hey, let me help you. Let me teach you. Let me give you some information, especially if they're showing some interest in it. Come on.
But everybody's got to gatekeep everything. Everybody has to act like they're the goddamn expert in everything and like grow up. You're right. If you've got the knowledge and they're asking, be nice about it. Just give them the info. Like, oh, you didn't know that? No. Okay. Well, here it is.
Yeah. I do that with my brother. Now, to be fair, I do give my brother, because he's a big car guy, but he doesn't know crap about guns. We've talked about this in our Signal chat. I've given him a lot of crap, but that's a big brother giving a little brother crap, and that's different. That's not, hey, I don't know you, but you're an idiot because you don't know everything I know.
Basically.
Yeah.
I worked with a dipshit like that when I was still in the Air Force. He wanted to treat me like I was a brand new airman, and I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, I know more than you, just not about this aircraft. So calm down.
That was his gatekeeping.
It was. And turns out it's about the only thing he had to gatekeep, because once I knew more than him, it kind of pissed him off. But like, that's the gatekeeper way.
Yeah. You have to be the best. I guess we could talk a little bit for anybody that doesn't know or wants to, has never handled an AK or never fired an AK. Just some of the basic differences between, we've already touched on a little bit, but like AK versus SKS. So for example, I'll grab this one because it's easier to show. On SKS, again, if you're watching, if you're not, I'll try to explain it as well as I can. Your magazine release is also in front of the trigger guard, just like on AK, but instead of pushing towards the magazine to take magazine out, if you have a detachable magazine, you pull it towards the trigger guard to the rear. And that's what lets you, they do rock and lock, just like in AK mag. So they rock and lock in, but then you have to pull the release to the rear to take magazine out. And it's hard to do on a webcam.
It's also, you also have to have the bolt open. I do not have the bolt open, cannot remove mag. Open bolt.
Yes. Again, I modified the bolt in this one, so I don't have that problem. But if I had not modified the bolt, like Mike said, you have to have the bolt open to put it in or take it out. That's what she said.
Giggity.
Yeah.
Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. I'm a sailor on the sea. Pride of the Queen's Navy. Family Guy movie. Moving on.
Yes, that. I didn't take the time to take either of these, like field strip these, but there's a short stroke gas piston instead of a long stroke like on an AK. So you still have your gas block at the top or at the front. It still taps gas off and that still hits a piston, but that piston just protrudes like an inch out of the back of its housing and it hits the front of there's actually multiple pieces in here, but essentially what it does is it punches the bolt instead of riding along with the bolt. And that's what cycles the action in a short stroke gas piston gun, which the SKS is. It's a different design, designed by Simonov. I'm not about to try to pronounce any of the other pieces like SKS, the acronym for SKS. I am not going to try to pronounce that. It pulled up in my AI search. Not even going to attempt it.
I will.
God. There were AKs that came with attached folding bayonets like on the SKS. I'll pull up my other one because it looks better. So in order to fold the bayonet out, you just pull on the ring that goes around the muzzle, swing it down, swing it up in front, and now you has bayonet that is useful only for poking things. It's not a dual purpose thing like a lot of bayonets, like a field knife or a pry bar or any other things soldiers use them for. It's just good for poking.
Pointy end goes into the other man.
Yes, I don't know of any AK that ever came with a detachable bayonet. I'm sure there are some out there, but even the Yugos have a foldy bayonet.
Okay, so you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Semyozredny Karabin Systemy Seminova.
Better than I could have done.
Or maybe it's carabine. However, it translates to self-loading carbine of the Simonov system. Which, that's a thing now.
I mean, I knew the written version, but now I hear it in your voice.
It's probably carabine. I don't know. I don't know how to speak Russian.
Me neither.
Where's the janitor when you need him?
Off getting drunk, apparently.
Bastard.
Everybody deserves a vacation every now and then.
Not him.
Okay, that's valid.
My trash is piling up.
Facts.
Come back, comrade janitor.
SKS was initially designed to load with stripper clips. So this is a 10-round stripper clip, and that's what the internal permanently attached, I did that with air quotes, box magazine was designed to hold was 10 rounds, and these things are a bitch to load from. Definitely not conscript proof. And it was developed in 45 or adopted in 45. The AK-47 was adopted in 47. And the idea was to have the AK, the SKS, and what was it? I'm going to go to my AI, RPD?
RPK?
Maybe. I'm not so good with the full auto ones because obviously I don't have any of them and I have no experience with them, but it was supposed to be a system. The SKS was supposed to be the mainline rifle. The AK, even though it kind of didn't work out this way, clearly, the AK was supposed to replace the submachine gun. And then there was supposed to be basically a squad automatic weapon, all firing the same round to simplify logistics. But the SAW version and the AK were supposed to be more specialized, but it turns out more bullets and being select fire and being a little bit more compact and having a detachable magazine and having a detachable bayonet made the AK clearly a more superior frontline infantry rifle. And so the SKS kind of turned into let's keep this in the armory in case we need more guns, or we need to give a guy a gun, but he's probably not going to shoot it. So we're going to save the guns that are better for the people that are going to need to shoot guns.
I do believe you're thinking of the RPK. It was either magazine fed or, well, it was
RPD. Here it is. RPD. Yeah.
What's the
which
RPK,
I believe was
though?
a belt fed. So the RPK, I'd have to look. I'm sure we'll get into this in our more historical episodes.
I'm going to do it now.
I think the RPK came about as kind of a further simplification of logistics where, hey, throw me a magazine even though I have a different gun, because it's basically the same gun, just with a longer barrel and a bipod, and it's a little beefier.
So I think you are thinking of the RPK because RPD doesn't even bring up anything rifle related. Wait.
RPD.
Maybe RPD and RPK are same thing.
I think RPD was a belt fed.
RPD has a nice drum mag on it.
Okay, maybe.
Okay,
Oh no,
so
it's definitely a different
RPD,
design. It's
yep,
definitely
RPK is the AK long boy.
yeah. RPD is belt fed. The drum you're looking at is a drum that holds a belt.
You're a drum that holds a belt.
I wish. You know how
All
cool
right,
that would
so
be.
you were correct. It's belt fed, even though it's from a drum. That's super weird. Does it
Well, I
spit
mean,
the
you get
things
nut
out as
sacks
you
on
go?
saws.
Right? Yeah, but those are
It's
all
just a.
right.
I
Those
mean,
are
they have
exactly the
plastic
same
ones.
thing, I guess. Fine.
It's just plastic. Well, some of them are.
Breaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Raggle Fraggle's asking, I want to know RPD versus RPK. Okay, the RPD looks nothing like an AK and is belt fed. The RPK looks exactly like an AK with a long barrel and is magazine fed. There you go. That's the difference.
Yes.
What more you want from me? They're both 7.62 by 3.9.
I don't know if the RPD was a short stroke or a long stroke gas piston. Also, fun fact, the SKS doesn't even have the rotating barrel, or not rotating barrel, rotating
Breech block.
locking bolt that the AK has. It has like a toggle lock, like a drop down bolt when it goes into battery. That's its locking mechanism. It's a completely different design by Simonov versus Kalishnikov, two very prominent Russian gun designers back in ye olden days.
The RPD is a long stroke.
Mm. I mean, I guess that would make sense, especially if it came around after or around the time of the AK-47. So basically, yeah, when the AKM came out, they just kind of looked at the SKS and said, "We don't need you anymore. We has even better AK than we already has."
Nah, comrade. Our AK is fine.
Niet SKS. AK is fine.
I mean, the SKS is still cool in its own right. I mean,
They
longer
really
barrel.
are.
It's the only thing I've never liked about the SKS is the trigger. Like you go to the wall and you're like, all right, I think the trigger doesn't work. I had several family members when I first got it. I took it up shooting with them and it's like, here, try this out. It's cool. And the trigger's broken. No, just keep
pulling.
going.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
it stopped. Okay, keep going till it goes off.
It's either that or it's like doing a front stroke in a pool with the AK trigger. Like it's just a constant until you're done. And then you reset and do it again and do it.
And not to mention it's heavy. It buries the recoil. It's a pretty soft shooting rifle. All things considered.
Extremely. And it's not like a heavy rifle. Like an AK with a loaded 30 in it would be heavier than a loaded SKS. Obviously, you've got more ammo in there, but it's got a longer barrel. I think it's like a 20-inch barrel. I don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's a light, handy. Like it'd be a good ranch rifle, but it doesn't like you. It's like shooting an AR almost. And I think some of that has to do with the short stroke versus long stroke. But also, I want to double check. Do we end at 7:50 or 8? Because I haven't been paying attention.
We end at like an hour in, so we've got like 7 minutes to consider wrapping up. So that other thing you wanted to talk about, we can save for another time.
That is totally fine. Also, so we were talking about bubbling SKSs earlier, and I know I showed the Tapco stock. There are other companies out there that have things or have in the past had things. So if you get a bubbled gun and it doesn't fit your needs and you don't really want to spend a crap ton of money on returning it to original, especially if somebody's cut the barrel down or something, there are companies that make magazines. I mean, like we showed, me and Mike both have these metal mags. I've got a Tapco 20 from back in the day that I'm sure are still out on the market, just like I'm sure you can find Tapco stocks out on the used market. Matador Arms at one point made an aluminum chassis that takes an AR buffer tube and stock AR grip. They made a muzzle brake as well. Neither of those are still available, but they do still have their optics rail. It replaces your rear sight leaf, and then it pins to the rear trunnion. Mounting optics on SKS is really hard because it was never designed for it, and most of the attachments you see are just pinned in there with a one single pin, and they ride on top of the bolt, and they're not really secure because it's not super tight machining, so you get a lot of zero shift. But I mean, there are ways you can do things to Bubba an SKS, or to Bubba it better, if you wanted to Bubba it better when it's already been Bubbaed. But like I said, if you find one that's original, I highly recommend just leaving it in its original configuration and enjoying it for what it is. In its original wood stock, just like it comes for or came from the factory, it is such a joy to shoot, and it's so much more fun. And if you want something more tactical, just buy an AK and Bubba the crap out of that.
Don't do it with Tapco though, because I bought a second SKS after a deployment in 2012, and I was like, I'm gonna tactical the shit out of this thing, and I bought a bunch of Tapco furniture and put it on there, and it was awful.
Honestly, these days, I don't think it would be worth it to do Tapco, just because they don't exist anymore. So you'd have to buy it all in the used market. You don't really know what you're getting, and you're probably going to pay more than it was worth when it was still being produced, just because it's OG Tapco.
Oh, look, thanks for the $30 handguards I paid $100 for.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Also, I will say, so Tapco, for the grip, they use this like saw style grip, which is kind of cool. But the buffer tube isn't really a buffer tube. It screws in with 2 screws. So you can't use just any AR buffer tube, even though it takes AR stocks.
You don't have buffer tubes on SKSs.
No, but you can't just use an AR buffer tube. You have to use the one that comes with it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So like the Matador arms, you can screw a buffer tube into the back and just use a brand new, like Brownell's brand buffer tube, or whoever buffer tube.
Dooley in the chat says he had a customer bring a pair of Tula SKSs with octagon receivers to do some work, and he was like, he convinced the dude to leave the rifle stock. Very good call.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even know they made octagonal receiver SKSs. That is, Dooley, you are a saint.
Well, we knew that already.
Yeah, Dooley. But now it's confirmed. It's been papalized by the party.
It's been partisanized.
Privy partisan.
It's like cheese. It's partisan cheese.
Sure.
Anyway.
And with that, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. However, comrades, the party demands feedback from the citizens. Please leave us a review or face the gulag. Anonymity is guaranteed.
Even if you do leave a review, I might still throw you in the gulag just because fuck you. Just so you know. Leave us a review.
I will stop him unless I think it's funny, in which case I'll just let it happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and by ladies, I only mean watcher. Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
That was a very